Or if Red Bull does something similar to what it did this last weekend, he would be taking the entire Red Bull team through Eau Rouge. The Lando girls would say that it was served to him on a plate. It actually gives us the Charles Leclerc vibes from 2022. That was a really dramatic and a very uncomfortable 1-2 in an F1 race in a very long time. It reminded us of the multi-2-1 at Malaysia Grand Prix in 2013 between Sebastian Vettel and Mark Webber. Oscar Piastri wins a Formula 1 race for the first time in his career, or the Lando girls would say that it was served to him on a plate. It actually was, to be honest. The race was solely supposed to be between the top three. Lando Norris actually got the pole by 200th of a second, followed by Oscar Piastri, giving us a McLaren 1-2 lockout for the start of the race on Sunday. And this was the first time in 12 years that McLaren managed to actually get a 1-2 lockout up front. Max Verstappen was just simply unhappy throughout the entire weekend. His problems started back in final practice 1 and it just got worse in the race later on Sunday. But before that, we have someone else to shit upon. Sergio Perez, the Minister of Disgrace. 2023 seemed like a genuine period of him being underconfident, but this year it has just gone down to another level. Imagine you have probably the second best car on most weekends and not managing Q3 for most of the races. In fact, you have made Logan Sargent anonymous with your performances this year. No one is even talking about Logan Sargent anymore. But then, let's compliment Perez at the end. He finished 2 places behind the Gamer Boy. With Lando Norris on the pole, it actually gives us the Charles Leclerc vibes from 2022, where he had the faster car, was starting on the pole, but then eventually losing out. But then it would be a huge disrespect to Charles since he was able to manage the lead at least for the first 2 laps. So the race starts, Lando Norris has a bad start and then pushes his teammate onto the barrier. Max gets a good start and almost catches Lando at turn 1, who goes out and overtakes but gives back the position. Oscar takes the lead and goes on to maintain the lead for majority of the race. This should have been sorted here. Bearing the 2 main straights in Hungary, there is almost no place or no turn where an overtake is possible. But the undercut on this track is just deadly. This is where the big brains of the team come in. Hamilton gets called onto the pit for medium and Red Bull does it a lap later, which allows Hamilton to get almost 6 seconds of advantage in the undercut. It meant Max needed almost 10 laps to be right behind Hamilton and then to pass him. They duel for 3 laps before Hamilton is asked to pit again for a new set of hards, which allows to him gain an advantage again on Verstappen, who later comes out in mediums and loses his position again. Big Brain Hannah failed for the first time in a very long time. The regime got the game right again and the Gamer Boy just lost it. He went all haywire on the Red Bull team for not getting the strategy right.
And I love it.
The entire exchange led to dive bombing at turn 1, leading to another incident and him losing further positions. Hamilton got P3 and Team LH nutted hard. Consecutive race week wangs for them. Let it all out right now, because next year Ferrari won't even let you get hard. If this drama wasn't enough, McLaren started cooking up something of their own. Good boy Oscar is easily having a brilliant first stint and maintains a good lead over Bottler Norris. Both pit and Piastri maintains the lead before he makes another stop, giving Norris the lead. Eventually Norris is asked to pit again and it gives him a good undercut on Piastri, who pits a lap later. I am certain at this point that the entire Australian population was on a voyage to the British Islands. McLaren asks Norris to concede position, but Norris, like any other serious championship contender, says and goes even faster. The team then tells him to kindly go slow on turn 4 and turn 11, to which he says again. Then, when all these requests didn't work, his engineer started giving him moral lessons like unity, strength, love conquers all, team will stay behind you if you help the team now. And when this wasn't working, they went another notch. Apartheid is bad, Russia is wrongly invading Ukraine, Trump shouldn't be allowed to win, Europe is getting infiltrated by illegal migration and refugees, Democratic Freedom Index is going down under Modi ji in India, Rishi Sunak is no longer the PM and Labour Party has taken over, and Arsenal could win the Premier League next season. It's at this point, this mention of Arsenal winning the Premier League, made him his foot off the gas and let Oscar through. It was the litmus test for Norris' loyalty, which tells us that he won't win the championship cause he is a beta. Good boys don't win championships. You have to be hard alpha boys like the Schumachers, the Max Verstappens, the Lewis Hamilton, the Ayrton Sennas, but then the team harmony was preferred here. The Australian invasion of the British was prevented eventually, and we got the mama's boy Oscar with a deserved win. Now let's be real, Lando Norris, for the stupid things that he does at race starts, is still the actual contender from the McLaren team. Before this race, the difference between them was like around 70 plus points, and even though Max Verstappen had a very bad race, Lando Norris couldn't take the advantage of it, and he still has lost out on 7 major points because of a team screw up. Yes, Lando will remain in the good books of McLaren, who made a strategical blunder leading to the drivers making the call. We thought Ferrari are bad at race management, like McLaren has taken it to another level. I would be seriously invested in the thought of getting into the McLaren garage if Lando Norris misses out on the World Championship by 7 points. Next, we have the Belgium Grand Prix this weekend, where if Max doesn't win, or if Red Bull does something similar to what it did this last weekend, he would be taking the entire Red Bull team through Eau Rouge. In case of McLaren, I just feel that this awkward Hungary moment has come at the best time ever. Now he has like good leverage over Oscar Piastri and the McLaren team in general, which could be beneficial for the rest of the season. Do share your thoughts regarding the McLaren and Red Bull situation through the comments below. Do drop a like, it will help with the video going far. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't, and see you all after Spa-Francorchamps.
Spa-Francorchamps.